Hi guys, my name is Noni Matikela. Welcome to the Noni M podcast. So today I want us to talk about the Senzo case, of course, and we are talking about the testimony of Brigadier Gininda, and the focus was on accused number 4, and it was Sidulele Nxumalo's cross-examination. Once again, we are talking on the Lebu Kenneth Hopanes what you call views, what he thinks about this. And then I'm going to add my 2 cents opinion also. But here is what he had to say. This is on Facebook, of course, so it's public knowledge. It's in a public group. Gininda's testimony. Before we do that, guys, please make sure that you do not forget to like, to share, to comment. And most importantly, please always remember engagement is key on the social media space. And it is very important for you to always make sure you like, you share, you comment, you subscribe, and you watch the videos up until the end. Lastly, please make sure that you do not forget to watch the ads. Those ads are the ones that are helping us to make money on the YouTube streets. So please make sure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Now, let's do this. Focus on accused number 4, Mthokoziseni Ziphozonke Maphisa. Key points: DNA evidence, contradictions, defense arguments, and witness movements inside the Khumalo house. Accused number 4's alleged role. According to court testimony and investigative reports, accused number 4, identified as Mthokoziseni Maphisa, did not initially run into the Khumalo house on the night Senzo Meyiwa was murdered. Instead, based on a statement presented in court by Gininda, Maphisa allegedly confessed to a confidant that he was involved in the planning of the crime. His role was to stand guard outside, monitoring for any unexpected visitors. This aligns with witness accounts that only 2 intruders entered the house, while 3 men were seen fleeing the scene. Conflicting accounts of accused 4 location. During cross-examination, defense counsel Nxumalo emphasized that no eyewitnesses inside the house saw a 3rd intruder. Gininda acknowledged this, but argued that accused 2's confession stated that accused 4 ran into the house as accused 2 was running out. DNA evidence. Captain Mamshedi Masetla, a forensic DNA expert, testified that none of the 5 accused, including accused number 4, could be conclusively linked to the crime scene through DNA. DNA samples were collected from a Scotch hat allegedly left behind a bedroom door handle and other surfaces inside the Khumalo house. Sorry guys. The DNA profiles from the samples excluded all 5 accused as contributors. However, hold on. Let me start. DNA samples were collected from a Scotch hat allegedly left behind, a bedroom door handle, and other surfaces inside the Khumalo house. The DNA profiles from these samples excluded all 5 accused as contributors. However, Gininda stated that although the DNA was not conclusive, some DNA regions linked to accused 4 were detected inside the house. He described this as a scientific corroboration of the confession, even though it was not definitive. Defense interpretation. The defense used the DNA exclusion to argue that the accused were not physically present in the house during the murder. They contended that the state's narrative was not supported by forensic evidence and that any confessions or witness statements implicating the accused should be treated with skepticism, especially if they contradict scientific findings. Witness movements inside the house. Based on court testimony from witnesses inside the Khumalo house, the following individuals were present: Senzo Meyiwa, the victim; Kelly Khumalo, Senzo's girlfriend; Zandile Khumalo, Kelly's sister; Gladness Khumalo, Kelly's mother; Longwetwala, Zandile's boyfriend; Tumelo Madlala, Senzo's friend; Mthokozisi Twala, Senzo's friend. When the intruders entered, 2 intruders entered the house, one with a gun and the other with a sharp object. Longwetwala ran out of the house through the front door, Mthokozisi Twala ran outside and jumped over a wall into a neighbor's yard. Tumelo Madlala ran into a bedroom and hid after hearing the gunshot. Zandile Khumalo and her mother ran into separate rooms. Kelly Khumalo stayed in the main area and tried to get help. Senzo Meyiwa was shot while allegedly trying to protect King. Tumelo Madlala came out of the bedroom after the gunshot. Twala returned after the intruders had left. Contradiction analysis. Accused for alleged entry into the Khumalo house. This section analyzes the contradiction in the testimony and evidence regarding accused for allegedly entering the Khumalo house. Confessions versus eyewitness testimony. According to Brigadier, accused two's confession state that accused 4 ran into the house while accused 2 was running out. However, no eyewitness inside the house confirmed seeing a third intruder. Witnesses consistently reported that only 2 intruders entered the house. The discrepancy raises questions about the reliability of the confessions and accuracy of the investigative narrative. Logical concerns. No witness, including Gladness Khumalo, who remained in the main area, saw a third intruder. It is illogical for an accomplice to enter the house after a gunshot had already been fired and others were fleeing. The scene was chaotic and the timing of events makes it improbable that someone could enter unnoticed. DNA evidence. Forensic expert testimony indicated that none of the 5 accused, including accused 4, could be conclusively linked to the crime scene through DNA. While partially DNA regions possibly linked to accused 4 were found, they were not definitive. The defense argued that this evidence is insufficient to prove his presence inside the house. The claim that accused 4 entered the house while others were fleeing is not supported by eyewitness testimonies and is contradicted by logical reasoning and inconclusive DNA evidence. This contradiction forms a key part of the defense argument to challenge the credibility of the prosecution's case. Well, when it comes to this part, so of course, logically, you can't go to the side when your colleagues are running out. Why would you go in? Doesn't make sense, ne? And also, if he came in after the gunshot while Ndanzi was running, why? In fact, why would it be 3 men that are running? Because we know of 4. 1, Sibiya was also on our watch out. Also, this one, Maphisa was also on the watch out. These 2 were supposedly inside. But why didn't Maphisa and Sibiya see Longwe for starters? And Longwe, why didn't Longwe see them when he ran out? Longwe did not see them. They did not see him. Hi, guys. And also, why did Maphisa and Sibiya not see Twala when the second Twala, which is Mthokozisi? When he jumps back in, okay, when he jumps the first time to the Ncatshe side of why didn't they see him? No. And also logically, who would run out when there is a firearm winging like this? We all look down. If they say pansy, why would, after you were told to look down by someone who is holding you at gunpoint, you would look up or even try to run away when there is a firearm? Doesn't make any sense. Not at all. Anyway, that is what Zandi, Tumelo, and whoever else said that Mthokozisi wants us to believe, including Brigadier Ghinenda. But in my view, no, man, that can't be true. It doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make any sense. It goes back to one thing: no intruders entered the house, period. No intruders. And I love how Nxumalo mopped the floor with Ghinenda. I don't care who says what. Nxumalo mopped the floor with Kininda while they were busy doing this cross-examination. I don't know, what are your views when it comes to this? But this was according to Lebza Kenneth Khopane. What are your views when it comes to this? Because I fully agree with his way of interpretation of what happened, of what was said, of what was happening in court. So what are your views when it comes to this? Let's talk comment section. I want to hear you. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.